I'm going to tell you a story about something that was pretty hilarious that happened to me one time. So I was in college and it was just another day. I had finished my studying for the day, so I was going to get into my work then. And that would just involve pretty much going on to freelancer.com and looking for any gigs that were available. So I applied for one gig anyway, and then this random guy just secretly messaged me. Well, not secretly, but like DM'd me, and he just said, "Hi, add me on Telegram, at Vic Neely." So I downloaded Telegram on my phone and my desktop. I never heard of it in my life, but I downloaded it anyway, and I added him. So we got into a conversation, and he pitched me this job where I create a bunch of logos, about 24, 25 of them, from a base Toronto Public Library template. And I did that. So I spent the entire day on it, and it took me well up until 8 or 9 in the evening to finish it. But when I'd finished it, it was like the best feeling ever because I completed a job and finally I was worth something financial. I could actually get paid for my services for once. So anyway, he offered me about $2,500 to complete these logos, and I was very satisfied because I was just able to send them off then to the his library email that he sent to me. So the next morning, then they sent me back an email and they said, so we have actually accepted your work, and we also offer you $3,500 with a which is the original 2,500 and an extra 1 grand bonus. And I was just absolutely through the roof then. I remember I strutted into Applied Maths like a peacock, and I just sat down beside my friends thinking I was the absolute boss. No way I'd be bound anymore by having to learn a bunch of education or the financial slow lane. I was free from the system. I'd earned 3.5 grand in dollars, of course, but it wasn't as much in euro, but I was still really happy because that's just so much, and I never earned anything in my life. So anyway, the guy, after I finished my lectures for the day, it was a Friday, so I had to get the bus quickly. He messaged me then saying, "But we need to tax you because there's a corporation tax that we have. So we want you to send over $200 to this bank account." And I had a look over the notes, and the bank account was in Lithuania, and I was just thinking, this is suspicious. But to be honest, it's worth the risk. I mean, the expected value is still about like $3,100. So I was gonna go in anyway and do it. The only thing was I didn't know how to send a payment, and that the fact that I didn't know how to send a payment saved me about $200 because later on when I was on the bus home, I went into the official Toronto Public Library website, and I went into the live chat and then I asked them, "Hey, is this a valid email address? Because I'm not really sure if it is." And then they were like, "This is not a valid email address. This is a scam. Please do not send money to this email." So yeah, that's kind of the story about how I nearly got completely tricked out of $200. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was like a bazooka to the stomach, to be honest, after I had just spent the last couple of hours thinking I had made it rich on my own without any assistance. But it's a learning lesson that we can all take, that, scammers exist and you can't let yourself get too big for your britches, because if something seems too good to be true, then 95% likely it is. And even in this job I'm doing now, I don't know, I'm only 50% sure of it, maybe even less. This guy DM'd me on Instagram and he said, uh, copyright these 100 pages of Dinspook material, and you'll get paid $1,500 by this corporation. And when I say it out loud, it sounds like a scam, but the website was honestly official looking, and the project was also official looking, and they it would take a lot of effort to actually make that. So I don't know. I don't really know if it's a scam, but anyway, I spent the last 3 hours writing out just the first 15 pages of it, and there's about 100 pages, so it's actually going to take me a while. But yeah, if you don't think before you start doing these things, like I'm kind of sure about this, so that's why I'm doing it. But if I wasn't, if this guy was like a Vic Neely 2.0, I would not do it, because you have to just realize that it's a scam before you invest a ton of time into doing it. Because I spent like my whole Thursday night just doing up those logos, and um, it didn't get anywhere because it was a scam and I didn't get anything from it. I even tried to send the locals to the library themselves a few months later on, just because, hey, do you want these for free? I got scammed, and then they were like, no, we don't want your logos. So, um, yeah, you're just not really going to get anything from being scammed. So just don't be that person who gets scammed and enables those scammers any further. This could extend as well to being coerced. I think I'm kind of the type of person who is just easily coerced, too agreeable, because um, circumstances when I was younger would very much encourage me to just be agreeable and not really stick up for myself. So you really need to just think, what is my backstory, one that will craft someone who will be too avoidant of confrontation, because it could be. It's more likely to be that than in the opposite direction where you're overly aggressive. I don't see many people who are overly aggressive at all, um, um, that I care to mention here, but a lot of people are passive, and it's easy to get swindled into things. By some Nigerian prince online, who wants you to send a bunch of money. The elderly in particular do get scammed by that. Oh, we know. That's why it's probably a good thing to just assertively learn to say no, because um, it's actually something that we don't have as much of it as we think. We think we can say no in these situations, but we can't really, because um, it's just not. It's not possible. I have this thing where I just feel very guilty if I say anything to reject the other person. In like when they ask me to do something, I just feel like I've killed five of their puppies or something. Um, I don't know. Again, it's very much circumstantial, and you do need to find that out for yourself. So yeah, basically, don't get tricked, and try your best to stay alert.